It is Wednesday, August 7th here at the West End Gun Club. I'm out here on the upper range of the facility, which is the 300-yard pad. And I came out here, set up targets at 50, 100 for paper, and then some steel at 200 and 300. But we'll get to that in a moment. But the reason I'm out here today, I took a day off from work, is because I wanted to test out this thing. It's a new rifle, and it may look kind of old because the chassis is beat up. If you can see it on camera, it's a little beat up. You can see scars and whatnot where the Cerakote's worn off. But it's a new gun because it's a new action. It is an Aero Precision Solus action, short action. And I picked this up as because I wanted to try it out. Everyone's talking about how Solus is pretty good. And I felt it at SHOT Show a couple years ago. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I didn't think too much of it, but everyone's hyping it up. And so I decided, hey, I'll buy one for a kind of a range beater gun. But it is set up for the same headspace spec as the Zermatt Origin. And so it can accommodate prefits, readily available prefits. And therefore, that's why I picked it up. And so I put this together on a preferred barrels prefit, and it is chambered in 22 GT. Not 6 GT, but 22 GT. So 6 GT is a very popular cartridge in PRS. It's a 6mm cartridge. But the 22 GT is the neck down version of that. Neck down at 22 caliber, of course. And I had a leftover Trigger Tech diamond that I had sitting around, and I put it in a MPA BA comp that I've had for several years, which is why it's all beat up. The little cheek piece foam peeled off, and yeah, it's not being used by anything right now. So that's why I said, hey, let's put together this rifle and put it in there. I did recycle a scope. I had to take this Vortex off of I had it sitting on my 700P. So this is my Vortex Razor Gen 2, which I had for many years. This is the tried and true. It's kind of a workhorse scope that I'll never get rid of because it works. It's very good. Good image quality. It's just heavy. It's like a brick, but it's a really good scope. And it's nice to have something like this, to have an all around, just use it on whatever. And but yeah, we're gonna try this out today, and I've already set up some loads with the Bergara 85.5s. That's what I'm going to be shooting in this. That's what I intended to shoot in 22 GT. So Bergara makes the LR HTs in 85.5 for 22 cal. And we're using CCI BR4s, benchrest primers, Alpha Brass, brand new. So we're shooting those new today. And then I've set up some loads starting from what Hodgdon says is starting load. They say 30.3 and the max is, I believe, 33.6. But we started at 30.5 and we're going to work our way up to 33 flat. I've only made 40 rounds total. And we're going to waste a few rounds trying to get this scope at least on paper. I bore sighted at home, but we're going to get the scope on paper. So I set up a target 50. I may actually pull it in 25 just to pull it in. But then we're going to get on relatively on so we can shoot at so we can shoot several groups at 100 with the rounds that I have left over for those different weights. But there's a bunch of bees flying around, so if you see me swatting away, there's bees. But anyway, I'm going to probably move over that side because, again, the 50-yard target is off at an angle on the berm there. So I'm going to move over to one of those benches. We'll shoot some sighter rounds, and then we'll move out to 100. I went ahead and pulled in the target to about 25 yards. I didn't want to risk not getting on paper because I don't have any rounds to shoot. It's mainly my test ammo, so I don't want to waste test ammo trying to get on paper. So hopefully we hit. We should be on relatively close, but let's see how this one goes. All right. Let's level this out. The target is not level, of course, but the target's not level because it's sitting on uneven ground. Ooh, okay, we're way high. Good thing I brought it in close. Okay, let's go ahead and make some adjustments real quick here and be on our way. What was that anyway? 2957.3 brand new barrel. Brand new barrel with 30.5 grains H4350 with an 85.5 is pushing 2957.3. Granted, it's brand new barrel, it's clean. It may change, but that's just kind of a baseline here that we have. Oh, almost on. 2749.5. 795.5. So I think we can settle with that. I'm gonna go ahead and push it to 100, but we'll come up a little bit because we know we're gonna be low. Well, I don't know. Are we gonna be low at 100? We might be low. Let's bring it up half a mil. All right, we got some paper targets. They came free with the KRG Bravo chassis. They included a bunch of targets a while back, but I'm gonna shoot on those since we had them in my bag. We're gonna go ahead and try to shoot this today. All right, relatively on parallax here. It's a little loud underneath here because underneath the overhead muzzle brake get quite a bit of blast, but let's go ahead and shoot some groups here. I don't know if I hit paper. That's the unfortunate aspect here. Can't see. Do I waste another round? No, let's not waste a round. Let me walk out there real quick and see where I'm at. Okay, we're on. Still low. 2680. So the first two rounds were hot. Now they settled down. So maybe those were just kind of break-in rounds to the barrel to get out the tooling marks or whatnot. But yeah, we're at 2680. So maybe those first two rounds were hot simply because that's what they were. I want to center this group though. We can waste a few more rounds just centering it up at least. I'm over about half a mil and then still low or high about 2/10. $27.11.9. $26.88.5. $27.02.7. Stop picking up those rounds. Up and down stringing, 2685.7. $2687.8. So that's 5 rounds, 2695.3 average, standard deviation 10.3. It's not very good, but again, we're shooting on the low end of what 22 GT should shoot. Let's let it cool down a little bit, then we'll move up to 31.0. And then we'll keep working our way up in 5/10 increments. $27.85. Wow, kind of a big of a jump for only, well, 5/10 of a grain. That's significant. Groups aren't the good though. They're already about an inch apart, half an inch apart. Okay. That didn't feel like it fed. Yep. That was hot, 2748. 733. The group didn't look very good, but I'm working through it. Did I lose a piece of brass? I dropped it in the gun. Where's it in the gun? It's not in the gun. Huh. Oh, I'll find it. It went around here somewhere. Let's go and just shoot another separate group here with 31-0. We'll keep the same chronograph string. I think that group looked a little better. We're getting some weird spreads here. I don't know why. That was a terrible group. And the first round was an anomaly too. That was a 29 standard deviation because I think the first round was above 2800. The rest of them were settled around 2760. So not sure why we're getting these weird anomalies. Standard deviation is still 23.9. Why is that so bad? Average is 2812. 2812, standard deviation of 23.9. It's only 5 rounds. Let's take a look at that history. 28, oh sorry, let's start from the bottom. First is 2860. First round was hot, 2800, 2800, 2799, 283. So the first round's coming out hot. That's weird. Then the rest of them settle down. Barrel's kind of really hot though. Let's let it cool down. The first round was 60 feet per second faster than the rest of the other 4. Alright, let's let that barrel cool down. I only got 2 more 5-round strings. Let's take a look at this 100-yard target. We have the 30.5 here on this square. Shot my first round, and I was trying to get it kind of on, and I don't know what I did with the other. Oh yeah, so I shot 3 rounds. One here, trying to set it up, and so I said, you know what, let's go ahead and shoot the rest of my 5 rounds of 30.5 grains of 4350 here. So we up and down stringing about less than a minute. Not bad, but up and down stringing, which we don't really care for. Then we went up to 31.0 grains of H4350s, again here, up and down stringing. Then another 5-round string, which we tightened up. It tightened up pretty good here. This is well under half a minute for sure. Then we stepped up to 31.5. This is a 5-round group here, which isn't very great. And to be honest, I can't even find the 5th round. I'm looking to the back of the paper, and I don't think the 5th round hit the paper. So it went somewhere. It went to Narnia. Don't know where. This is 32.0 grains of 4350. This is 5-round group, and I can confirm from the back side that's a 4-round here and then 1 round here. This was not the first round. I know that one I saw it. I was like either the 4th or 5th round, but I kind of ruined the group there. We stepped up to 32.5 grains, which is okay. This one came in low to the right. Still under about, well, it's about half a minute, I would say. This is well under half a minute, one for this, but this is now about half a minute, 3/4. Then we went to the 33.5. Again, I shot this 4-round. This is the last round for sure, because I saw this darken up in my scope. So, not bad. We're shooting about half a minute across the board, except for, this is 31, the same 31, 31, both the same powder charge. It could just be the first rounds that we're looking at here, kind of breaking it in. But that was not good. This is not good. This is 31.5. But then 32, 32.5, and 33 are pretty decent with these kind of flyers, I would call it that. However, the big issue I'm having right now, which if I can bust out my chronograph here, and we can see, maybe we can see, I don't know, we can see. Well, let me get my phone, it might be easier. If you're looking at these strings here, you can see the standard deviation it's pretty high, 28, 29, 23, 28, 23. But if we look at the shots, you'll notice that the first round is a good 60 feet per second faster than the rest. 2950, then 2891, 2889, 2890, 2892. That's all pretty good at 2890. It's just that first round. Let's go to the second from last string. Same thing happened here. 2910 feet per second, then it dropped down to 2839, 2844, 2834, 2844, 2834, and 2840. So it's a good 56 feet per second faster than the average. Let's go to the third from last. Same thing happened here. 2860, then down to 2800, 2800, 2799, 2803. Then this 5-round group here, same thing. 2826, and it dropped down to 2762, 2754, 2744, 2754. I'm not entirely sure why the first round just wants to shoot a good 50, 60 feet per second faster than the subsequent shots. Not sure if anyone has an explanation for that in the 22 GT, but it's very strange. Reason why I set up target to 200 and 300 is for rimfire. I brought out my Vudoo 360 and just wanted to shoot the Midas Plus that I got a case of from the Lapua Rimfire Performance Center, just to get some dope here to true it up a little bit at 2 and 3. We'll try to. Not entirely sure what we'll need. I think it's 6.5 roughly. But we'll try that. And I did put that new Hornady HIT indicator on my 300-yard target, but we'll show you that in a second here. But let's go ahead and try to get on target here on this 200-yard target. Pretty much dead on. What's my velocity? 1097. Okay. Oh, that went low. 1053. Okay. First rounds of the day, so we'll have to. Oh, okay, 1060, so we're low. Let's come up half a mil at least.
kind of high. 1074. Okay, same spot. About the same spot. Same spot. It's a group. It's a group. We'll call it a group right there. I'm going to shoot these and we'll adjust. Oh, that one dropped low, unfortunately. That was 1060. All right, I think I have an idea of where that group is. I'm going to adjust by a tenth. But we're definitely going to come left. I have a distinct group on the right side. We'll ignore the first two rounds, which would be, one is the dead center one and one's dead center low, the bottom of the plate. Okay, where did that go? I expect it to be left. Okay, it's high. It's not as much to the middle as I wanted it to be. I want to center this group off. Okay. Okay, I think I was in the right spot. Oh, that one went high left. I didn't like that one. That was 1075. I want to say 6.8 is probably where I want to be for 200 yards. With an angle, of course. Okay, standard deviation was 6, so 5.9. I set up a plate at 300 yards, which I have my usual MagnetoSpeed T1000 hooked up to it, which I did change the batteries on last night. I think I had the same batteries in there for 3 or 4 years, so I'm surprised it lasted that long. Hopefully that's what was causing the problems last time I was out. Anyway, I have these Hornady HIT target impact indicators. I have one on the 2x4 that the plate is on, because it's on a single hanger. Not sure that's the ideal place to do it, because it's technically supposed to have this behind the target. It is behind the target, but it's like kind of below the target, so you could actually hit it. But I've had 2 pairs of these things for several months. I've just never used them. So I decided, hey, let's try them out, and I set one up over there, and we'll see what it looks like in the camera. But I think we need 12.7, I think, 12.8 according to my Kestrel right now. Let's try this out. Sorry, let me center my gun here. Perfect. I did put this blue painter's tape on that steel target because my marker was not going on the black. All right, let's see if it lights up. I did not see the Hornady light up. There it goes, Hornady lit up. Hornady did not light up. I don't think the rimfire 300's got enough oomph on it to cause it to trigger, because I think it goes based off vibration. Okay, we got 3 rounds, which are kind of low, about 2/10, so I'm going to come up 2/10. But it seems to center out pretty well. Don't know where that round went. I can't see it. Well, I think it printed high. Yeah, I think 2/10 is too much. So just 12.9 then? Yeah, 12.9 will probably be the way to go. Yeah. Let's shoot 10 more rounds, just for fun. We're averaging 1068.7. Standard deviation is 6.4, which is better. Those first 10 rounds was a standard deviation of 11, I think, 10. But that was, you know, the first 10 rounds in the morning, so it's a cold barrel. Let's see if I can get this loaded up here. I'm going to just shoot 10 more rounds. I don't need to shoot that many. I think we're trued up. And it's actually, if you watched my one of my other range vlogs earlier, 2 vlogs ago, I was testing the Ely Ultra Extreme Long Range, and you saw that was not printing very well at all on a 10x10. This one's actually shooting a group. I can see a distinct group at 300, which is what you would expect out of quality ammo. And this is not even the best ammo. This is Midas Plus, which is really good. I mean, it's good ammo, but it's not like the best top of the line. Comparatively speaking, I mean, there's supposedly other top, more like supposedly more performance-based ammo or higher performance ammo, but Midas Plus is pretty solid, and I'm shooting pretty good here. I'm trying to find it. It's still printing right. I'm coming left here. Okay, that's high. That one's high. It's 1076. High. So I think 6.8 was fine. I had it 6.8 earlier, but it was kind of printing low. Yeah, I think we'll keep it at 6. Or 12. Sorry, 6.8. 12.8. 12.8 is where we want to be. Wow, still striking high though. 1080. That was hot though. It was a hot round. 1080. 1063. There you go. I think this is where we want to be. The Hornady HIT indicator is unreliable with rimfire, at least the way it's set up. I'll bring my camera out there. We'll show you what it looks like, how it's rigged up. It is sometimes it's lighting up. Like that time it didn't light up. It was a hit. That's it, no round in chamber. But yeah. So let's see, 12.8. Let's write that down. 12.8. And temp's about 80 degrees right now, like mid 70s to 80. 12.8. We're talking about like 70. Let's call it 78. 78. Well, it's 83 right now, so let's just call it 80. Let's call it 80 degrees. We'll round it out. All right, let's go grab those targets. I think we're done shooting, but let's go take a look at that target so you can see what it looks like. Just so, by the way, 1070 average, 1070.9, so 1071 average with a standard deviation of 7. Not perfect, but it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good standard deviation for Midas Plus. Here's our 300-yard target, and I was using this blue painter's tape as a water line here. And my initial rounds, one was low, and I think this was another one that I hit. But we kind of I was trying to figure out if 12.6 would be fine, but we went to 12.8 and we're up here. Went to 12.9 and started printing a high, and I think I shot these high rounds, so I backed down to 12.8. So I think 12.8, 12.7 might be the way to go. Sorry, this was 12.7, 12.8, 12.9. So 12.8 is probably gonna be the way to go. If we look at this as 12.8, our vertical is probably only 4 to 5 inches, 5 inches maybe at most, which is pretty good 300. I would accept this. These were the 12.9 shots. I think I shot one 12.8 around here, but these are all 12.9s for these shots here. So we're looking at, this is 12.8 right here from my middle finger to my thumb, 5 inches vertical at 300 yards. I'll accept that as a pretty good variance. It was finishing off, it was started off right. I tried to push it a little bit to the left, just dialing 2/10 of a mil, just to center off at 300. That right hand twist, it's coming off a little bit more, so we got to adjust for that. And in any case, here's the Hornady. This thing, I think you need more oomph on it to get it to register, because it wasn't half the time. So that one hit for the T1000. I don't know if this was on camera. Hit again. Sorry. That's T1000. That's enough to cause the T1000 to go, but not enough vibration on the wood for the Hornady to work. So if you had centerfire, that would work because you'd hit the wood. So I don't know, the T1000, or sorry, the Hornady hit indicator needs a different type of, you have to think about where you're going to mount it on your stand. So you definitely need to be aware of what stands you're going to use and how you're going to rig it up. I'm not a fan of this methodology though, because if you strike low, you're going to hit that thing and it's gone. At least with the T1000, you hit this, you can see there's a bullet hole in this. If you hit this, this doesn't matter because this is just replaceable and it's just your reflector for the actual unit in the back. So, granted, the hit indicators are cheap. I can't remember what they are, but they're relatively inexpensive compared to this thing, which is well over $100 for the T1000. Anyway, let's go and pull these targets in. I'm all done shooting this morning. Need to pack up my gear. The sun is starting to come out. It's getting warm out here, but I got all what I need to take care of done. Primarily testing out this Aero Precision Solus chambered in 22 GT with preferred barrels, prefit barrel for it. And I didn't mention earlier, it is an MTU contour barrel, 26-inch long, and it barely fits this chassis. I wasn't paying attention to the barrel contours. I just said, no, let's go MTU, let's go heavy. And I wasn't thinking, oh, does my chassis even fit that? And so when I put it in the chassis, it barely fits. I see there's enough of a gap on each side. And then with the bridge on, there's just like, you know, you can fit some papers in there. So it is free floating. Not sure if there's gonna be barrel whip hitting that, but maybe I'll take off the bridge, take a look to see if there's barrel whip and there's marks on the barrel, but it's fine. The ammo, like my rounds, I think we're good. It's just the fact that we have that 50 foot per second anomaly on the first round, then the 4 rounds afterwards are fine. Don't know what's up with that. So if you understand why my first round in a string is hot, like 50 feet per second faster, and everything else settles down beyond after that, if you had that issue, let me know. I'd be curious to know what you've come across. As far as my velocities, I finished up the day with 33 grains of H4350, and if we look at the averages, discounting that anomalous round at 2950, that string was about 2890 feet per second. So 2890 with 33.0. 33.6 is max. I might push that, but the groups are good. I might just go ahead and load 33s and maybe 33.3s and see how that looks, maybe 33.5, but I don't feel like I need to push the max. I think I can stay comfortably under. And we'll see how it settles in the first 100 rounds, and we'll come up with a load that I'll stick with. But yeah, curious if anyone has had that same issue with that anomaly of first round, really hot, then everything else, it's fine, it settles in as far as velocities. As far as Midas Plus, we tried that at 200 and 300, so I've got some data for 202 and 300 yards. I think I can true that up a little bit with Midas Plus, but Midas Plus shoots really good in this gun. That's why I bought the case of ammo when I went to Lapua Rimfire Performance Center. So we're good there. Obviously it shoots better than the Elite Ultra Extreme Long Range, which did not shoot well. And if you saw that vlog where I tested the ammo in this gun, I mentioned there was a recall. They also had a form you fill out if you had a lot of ammo still.
I filled that form out. I know a lot of people fill that form out, but they never contacted me back. So I don't know what's going on there. Are they going to refund this or replace the ammo? What's going on? I personally don't care. In all honesty, I only bought half a brick, which is 5 boxes, because there's 10 boxes of 50 in a brick. I bought half a brick, which is 5 boxes. You know, I knew it was going to be, I wasn't planning on using the ammo anyway, unless it shot insanely well. Like if it was one-holing it all the time, I would have thought about buying it. If it one-holed it at 300 yards, of course I would buy it. But it's expensive ammo, and I figured, you know, I already use Lapua, I'll stick with Lapua, but I'll try this Elite Extreme Ultra Long Range or Ultra Extreme Long Range, whatever it's called. And, you know, if it's 5 bricks, it's fine, low risk. And so if I don't get my money back, it is what it is. I didn't really care. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, it's getting really warm right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pack it up. That's it for today, Wednesday, August 7th, here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.